There we go. Welcome in, everybody. We're just getting set up. We are on the road, obviously. I'm at my parents' house actually doing this, so the setup is a little goofy. I understand, but thank you for being patient with me, you guys. I'm gonna get the link in our Telegram chat just for all of our people inside to be able to hop in. Obviously, we care about our members and we want you guys to have access to this stuff easily. So, giving you guys a second here, and then we will get started with tonight's episode. It's a big one. Hopefully, the lighting and everything is holding up here. It should be all right. But if you guys have concerns, let me know. Trying to make the best use of my lighting and my space here. I think this. I got a lamp here. I'm kind of using for remote lighting, but all is good. I think I can turn this light up. No, I can't. But we will make do, guys. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time and your support of this project as it is. And I hope I can teach you something tonight. I think we're live on Instagram, Rumble, TikTok, and YouTube. So please just take about 20 minutes and give me your focus. And I promise you're going to walk away with something you didn't have before. This is going to be kind of TED Talk style. And I understand it's the holidays, it's busy, but tonight is a really important point. If you don't get this down, you're probably going to be subject to some sort of suffering from it in the future. It's kind of like an insurance topic, right? It doesn't feel important until it is, and the topic tonight is privacy. I have never personally dealt with a big invasion of privacy online, and I don't think most of you guys have either. But I'm going to challenge that tonight. I'm going to show you guys why it's so important to protect your image online. I know most of us, right? It's this Black Mirror looming topic in the background that we don't really think is that important, but it is. And there's a nightmare that I've kind of seen visions of, right? And I've kind of been talking about, especially with AI and researching online around 2030. Things are going to change a lot. I don't want to be the big conspiracy guy, tinfoil hat guy, but I'm going to share what I've learned. So let's start. Let's start with the facts of what we know. Today, most of your data online is tracked. They're ads, trackers, right? Those are the two big things. Ads are obviously targeted to your interests and your cookies and browsing history online, and things you look up on Google, on YouTube, on Instagram Reels, right, is all logged by parent companies, right? Meta makes most of their money off your data, not the software itself. And they sell that to companies to run ads directly to you. So that way the companies can skip the line of putting billboards up on highways, right, and targeting things directly to you, the person, because they know who you are better than a lot of times you even know yourself. You'll see ads for things on Instagram and you'll wonder how they even know what you wanted. But they are listening. And I think most of you guys know they are listening too. Trackers are things on the internet that determine paths of where you've gone. So, what websites you visited, what websites you frequently visit, right? Good and bad. I know some of you guys have some bad search history out there, but I'm going to give you a number 4,000. 4,000 ads plus every single day steal about 2 to 3 hours of focus from your productivity, and they steal a considerable amount of data. Not only just the actual information and targeting you, right, but your focus is what I really want to point out with this. Privacy isn't just keeping your data safe. Privacy also means keeping a clear head. When people are invading your privacy, guys, I like to go to coffee shops, right? And if somebody came up to me when I was working and was constantly asking me questions, technically that'd be considered an invasion of my privacy. And right, it's not like they got my social security number type privacy, but they invaded what I call, right, my personal kind of bubble, my space. And that can be your information, but it can also be your attention. And so everything we do online is giving somebody else information, and that information is very valuable. And so it's not just them having the information, it's them using it to get to you in a way that they know actually works. Does that make sense? So it's not just whether or not you know your phone number, your email is out there. It's that the people that have that won't leave you alone. And I think you guys know how important that is. Decision fatigue kills 40% of side hustles, 2 out of 5. So if you guys have started 5 side hustles, most likely 2 of them have been killed simply because you guys get tired of trying to figure it out and you just give up. And a lot of times, subconsciously, you don't realize it's because too many other things get in the way. Life gets in the way. The setup itself of the side hustle, right? There's too many steps. You want to be an Uber driver, but there's a bunch of micro steps of getting a car registered, and you got to watch a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff. That kind of gets to you invading your privacy and your attention span. So I use this browser and I actually have it on my computer right here. It's called Brave. I would recommend you guys download it. It's not sponsored. This isn't a sponsored video or anything like that. But I use it instead of Safari and Chrome because Brave shows you right on the homepage, right when you open the app, how many trackers and blockers, has it actually removed for you, and how much data has it relatively kept safe of yours. I would recommend downloading Brave on your desktop as well as your iPhone or Samsung, whatever you guys have, because it gives you what I call quiet control. Quiet control is the practice of not being invaded by things that seek to pull you away from your primary mission. Okay. And again, coming from the military, having a background there, it means that you have a clean mental space to operate. And in times where, for a lot of you guys, the only way out of your shitty job, your shitty education, your shitty career path is by having a clear mission and executing it perfectly, right? Having a side hustle that turns into a business. We don't want to fuck around with that. You guys need clarity. And that has to come from protecting the little time you get outside of your work, outside of school to actually make that path a reality. So, right, it doesn't seem important, but if you guys aren't protecting it, it will be the biggest thing that throws you off course. Almost half your side hustles will die simply because of it. Okay, so what does this mean? Segment 2 is called Feeding Beasts. Beasts are massive corporations, massive data centers, right? People that essentially collect this information and want to use it, in my opinion, against us. The future, what does this look like? In the next couple of years, the research I've done shows that we plan to train rival companies, right? And companies tend to compete greater and greater on training their AI with free information. So you go on Instagram, you search, I don't know, trying to think of something funny, like graphic tees, right? You're looking for a certain topic, right? Maybe you want a graphic tee about how good of an uncle you are. Maybe you just became an uncle. And so the AI running Meta, right, that's in the background, picks up on the fact that maybe you just became an uncle. You're gonna start seeing ads for, could just be simple, stupid stuff, right? Like booklets on how to be a better uncle. Could be videos on what to get your new niece or nephew, right? Things like that. And you don't ask for it, it just shows up. That's already happening today. But what it looks like in 2030, my prediction is that these AIs are going to continue to get farmed and sold from the data. AI is going to be able to get so good at filling in the gaps, right? Because right now it's just frankly simple programs that take the data and try to just guess, right, the next thing or kind of the general assumption. But AI is going to be able to go 5 steps ahead and say, well, you're an uncle, which means that, probably in 6 months, we should start showing him ads for, birthday gifts, right? So we can start planning for his niece's first birthday, right? So AI is going to fill in the gaps and start setting up these massive campaigns to basically take any information you give it and constantly bombard you with things that will drive your attention away. And they know that you're going to spend money on these because to them, an AI can figure you out better than you can. How many of you guys use AI to try to understand yourself better or answer questions about your life? Imagine that being used against you. And you guys haven't seen the impact of that, but when you're spending your money on a bunch of bullshit and it feels like it's all these things that you need, right? That's just because AI is telling you you need it. I don't like that because I like knowing I'm making a decision, not being manipulated into it. 85% of data right now is sold legally, which means 15% isn't. Intellectual property leaks are very common. It's common to get hacked into. It's common for companies to just sell data in general. Doxing, right, which is basically just getting your information revealed, right? Or anxiety will happen because of exposure of your data in 2030. AI is going to be able to hack proactively for groups, right? Especially groups, dark groups that want to train it on the web to steal your information and then sell it, or use it to exploit you, to put into other AIs to develop scams against you. The pain is lost deals, right? Is lack of time, is lack of focus, is getting spam with things you just simply don't want, but it thinks you need. And then the mental drain long term of opening your phone and wanting to be productive, but constantly seeing things that are just bait, right? It's like rage bait, but essentially for your attention, trying to get you to participate in something or watch a video or do something you don't want to have to do. And although your phone is supposed to be a tool, right? 20 years ago, it was just a flip phone and you could use it only for utility based things. It's now being used as a weapon against your primary asset in life, which is your time and your focus. So, how do you protect it? You guys need to start planning and operating. And again, military background here. You guys need to start doing things as an operation in private. Now, you can still use the internet, but you need to protect your information from getting out to people that want to steal your attention. Your attention is so valuable, you can't even put a price on it. It's like asking you to put a price on your life, right? Because your life is just considered the sum of the time you've spent alive and the things you've been doing in it. And if somebody can buy that time away from you, you could spend that time to go on vacation or to make $1 million or to have a child, right? That is invaluable time that you can't price. And they want to steal the most important asset you have. So to protect it, you have to start avoiding trackers. You have to start protecting the privacy leaks. You have to avoid surveillance in general. Surveillance cuts bold moves by 50% because when we feel like we're being watched, just in general, even if we don't know it, just the anxiety of feeling like we're being watched presents higher likelihood to conform. And I know that's good, right? Because it keeps us safe, right? It keeps us part of the herd, but it doesn't allow you to innovate. If you're trying to start a hustle, trying to start a business, trying to make it in general, it's going to push you back into the lane of you can't do it. Your life isn't good enough. You don't deserve to make it. And that is already hard enough to break free of in 2025. By 2030, you guys aren't going to have a chance. I'm not going to have a chance unless I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Isolation. When they know you, they can target you and they know they can customize ads directly against you. Nobody else is getting the same ads you are. So you can't text a friend and be like, hey, are you getting these videos? They're crazy addictive, right? No, because they're getting their own set. You're getting your own videos that they know will get you to convert. And you're both dealing with it on your own because technically it's different. Debt ads, right? Trying to get you to take out high interest loans. People that aren't educated enough are going to get taken advantage of. Going to create health stress, right? By people thinking they have issues. You can basically gaslight somebody online through social media content if you feed them the right videos into thinking they're overweight or that they have a mental health disorder or whatever. You guys have seen this already in society. And so what I've realized with like Brave, right, is it kind of Brave software and why I use it so much is because it creates a foothold against digital tyrants. And to me, that's massive. Just knowing that I'm not giving a lot of my information away in general makes me way more confident to go out and be myself. And again, this isn't a sponsored video. I don't have any partnership with them, but I just want to use that as an example because I created Altura for the same purpose. We are an ad-free network. We use AI. We allow you guys to use AI, but we don't take that data on like massive corporations that you're probably already using with your AI and behind the scenes sell it off so that way you guys are a digital prisoner in a digital file that can be sold to the highest bidder. That's important to me for the reasons I just told you. And if you guys want to protect yourself, there's not a lot of great options out there. You kind of have to own your data. Leaks compound in the future, right? It's not like, you giving out an email on one site and it gets hacked into is the end of the world. But if the same group hacks one website and gets your email, and they hack another website and they get a password, but it's the same password you use for your email, then they have access to your email, which then means they have access to potentially reset your bank information. Maybe they have access to get in touch with your utility company. Maybe they have access to your social media, things that you guys don't want to give out. I promise you that. You guys don't see the impact right away from one leak, but they're not playing checkers, they're playing chess. Milestones, right? And your information, they might delay years. So you could get hacked and you could think your social security number was stolen one day and then nothing happens. But 30 years later, when you go to withdraw benefits, it might have been sold to the highest bidder on the dark web. You guys just don't know. And so the breach fallout, right, and this cyber security lack of infrastructure nowadays and the progression of AI hackers and scams is hitting the young people the hardest. Our generation, which already has so much difficulty getting off the ground, is finding it very difficult. Creativity is lacking, right? Which means innovation, because it's tied to innovate creativity and how well you can think of new ideas, is suffering because our generation can barely stay afloat, and right. And it's only when we have our Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? When we have our basic needs met, our food, water, shelter, that we can look for self discovery, right, and self fulfillment and greater psychological type benefits, right? Love and affection, all that stuff builds when you have your basic needs met. But we don't because we're worried about our information and we're worried about our privacy and we're worried about getting hacked into. And we're worried about who has our information so much that you just can't think bigger picture. To me, that's all I do, guys. Once you get to an actual point, when you actually have a business you're running, you're not going to do it alone. There's going to be people dependent on you. There's people dependent on me right now. It's a big responsibility. And if you ever want to make it big, you have to understand that. And you can't have it's kind of like being a parent, right? You can't have the bandwidth to handle more people than yourself if you're drowning. Okay. So you need to lead people from a position of excess. And the only way you do that is by having your shit down and covered. And if you're worried about somebody stealing your bank information constantly, it's just not going to happen. I want to give you guys, the true solution here. Because privacy, right? It seems like kind of like a vitamin, right? But it actually is a painkiller. You need this. It's not just a supplement you should take, it's something you have to be doing. You have to invest in your privacy now. And it's not expensive. It really just means moving the same stuff you're probably already paying for to something safer. Altura, right? We have an AI tool we're developing. It's called Nova. If you guys use ChatGPT, if you use Grok, if you use Gemini, just understand that that's great and they probably function great. But the companies behind them, do you really think they're not doing something with your data? Do you really not think that they're not building a profile on you that they can use to exploit in the future? And again, the scary part is you don't even know how or all the ways they could exploit you. So why even take the risk? Why aren't you being part of a community where you can own your data, where you can own your infrastructure, where you can prevent regrets? Everyone loves to, think about the ways they could have changed things after the bad things happen. Nobody loves doing it at the beginning because it's expensive, it's time consuming, and it seems like a waste of time for people like me that are always focused on the most important things. We don't want to look at the things that could be, right? Or are down the road. But I'm promising you guys, if you don't, this will come up and you're going to need protection. Especially if you get big enough, right? If people know you have money, if people know you have influence, they're going to proactively try to target you specifically. And I don't want to sound paranoid. It happens, right? So you need to have your lock on whatever you're doing from day one. And again, it's not like you're paying $1,000 a month for a full-time cybersecurity team. You can join Altura, for instance, our platform right here, the link's down there, and just move the $20 you're paying for ChatGPT to the $20 you're paying for Nova and know that we're not selling your data off. And you get the same tools plus more. You get our live chat, you get our community, you get our education, you get our planner, all these things that we're developing right now. And again, we're going to launch a mobile app soon so you can have it all on your phone. Executive assistant that manages your calendar through AI. All of these things you guys could be protecting, right? Your calendar, which basically tells anybody that gets access to your calendar what you're doing with your time, where you are at certain points of the day. It's scary. Your email, you guys need to protect that stuff. Imagine just if your iPhone notes got leaked. I know a lot of you guys keep crazy stuff in your notes. Imagine if somebody got access to your iPhone notes, just what information in there they could use subtly or, substantially to maybe target you. It's not good. And so again, we use cryptocurrency on purpose. We have a utility token called $alt or Altura token. and it's you can buy it. It's on the Solana blockchain, and by using the token, it gives you guys privacy. Right? It's not a bank account. You're not linking credit cards. You're not showing up on statements, right, for major banks. You're buying it through crypto, and once you have the cryptocurrency, it's what gives you access to the platform. We're not even charging you guys monthly. You're saving the $20 a month if you just buy the crypto, and the crypto is less than $20 right now to buy because we're trying to get more members. We're trying to grow, and this avoids the bomb of a credit card getting linked to something or somebody stealing your credit card information because you never needed it in the first place. All you had to do is buy some Solana and then buy our token with it. And once you have it, and you're set. So what does this look like? Here's the win. And I want to point out the win to show you guys why it matters. The win is that unseen plans bloom into empires because the second you start making it, right? It's kind of like winning the lottery. The second you win the lottery, everyone wants money from you. The second you start succeeding in business, your attention gets bombarded. People want to partner with you. They want to join your team. You get targeted ads. You have more money to spend. So that becomes tempting because people know you have money. If you keep private, if you keep your plans private and you don't show the world what you're doing, or corporations don't get access to that to show you ads, you guys will actually have the greatest chance at making it. Protected users execute 3 times faster because they don't have the stress subconsciously in invading their brain of worrying about what's next. The upside, the compounding edge of having control, having the confidence of having control creates breakthroughs. And again, with our private community and our encrypted chats, you guys get to meet other operators executing on their companies. You get to partner with them. You guys both understand what privacy infrastructure looks like and why becoming a ghost entrepreneur is truly important. The Brave and Altura kind of shield style that I've been talking about with Nova, right, our AI tools and our planner and our vision stuff is a private launch pad of resources that simply don't even compete to the modern market. $20 for all of that compared to just $20 for the same chat GPT outside with your data being sold is a no-brainer to go with us. And again, you don't even have to pay for that if you just buy and hold the crypto because that helps all of us win at the end of the day. So put the time in, put the money in right now, and just take action. Go to the website right here, and I want you guys to dominate later by protecting your privacy today. Again, I know it's kind of a bad example too, but like, let's say if you didn't have car insurance, how much like more cautious would you drive your car compared to if you did? I know you guys aren't trying to be reckless, right? But I feel like I would be really, really nervous every time I got behind my car if I didn't have insurance. And I'm like, if I hit somebody or somebody hits me, I'm not gonna be able to afford that. It's gonna bankrupt me, right? So it's scary, but the same thing goes here. You guys don't know the potential you would have if you knew you had security over your information. If the ads weren't getting served to you, or even if they were, but they weren't things you cared about, it'd be so much easier to turn it off, so much easier to dial in on what you're actually finding productive. You guys can thrive by being unseen. And I know, right? It's the world of the loudest voice wins, the biggest influencer wins, the brightest Lamborghini flexed on social media wins. But I'm telling you guys, that phase is going to die out soon because those same people struggle and they've all collapsed. You've seen TJR, right, with his Koenigsegg collapse because he didn't get enough business. The market hit him so bad. And when you only rely on hype to build, there's nothing underneath. It's all just makeup. And when it washes off and people find out you don't have a true business model and you haven't protected your image from the start, everyone's still attacking you and you have nothing there to back the true side of your hustle. So again, what do we offer? Vetted chats. You guys are getting signal level encryption in your business messaging back and forth. It creates algorithm, protection and buried tactics that allow you guys to communicate without being bombarded, right, on Instagram DMs or somewhere public, right? Our Altura token and our NFTs create governance. You guys get to vote and own the infrastructure of our platform. That's transferable. You can sell the crypto. You can sell the NFT. Somebody else can come in and take your spot. That scarcity drives utility, and it makes our platform more valuable. And it makes the value of your crypto and your token, once you buy it initially, go up as you hold it. So you guys never really have to pay to be in. because again, if everyone's participating and supply stays the same and demand goes up, you guys are going to make money actually being part of this. 8,888 NFTs will exist, and that's capped. Right now, it's frozen. You guys can't buy NFTs. You can only buy the crypto or pay $20 a month to get in, because we want to create high signal value for our tokens. We don't think the value we would be able to offer right now for how early we are in the platform is substantial enough. We want to save the tokens so they're actually valuable, and we don't want to just cash them in or sell them at the lowest possible point. We want you guys to feel that it is premium, because the amount of resources we put into making this secure and protected for you guys, and making sure you have a safe space to share your ideas, put your notes in, talk to AI, that is valuable. And you're never going to get another opportunity like this until it's too late, until AI already has your information. And at that point, you can't go back. You have to do it before it starts. This is why this is such an important live stream and why we're doing it now. But overall, a clean, protected, private ecosystem exposes the dirty truths, right? Safely. And you guys can talk about what's actually corrupting our society, uh, our economy, right? Businesses in general, your attention, and grow and develop yourselves once you're in a place that you actually know is safe, right? You guys can never stop to think if you're constantly in the middle of a busy intersection. You have to get off the road. You have to step back to see things from the outside, just as I did with consulting. I can't give somebody advice unless I'm looking at it from the outside. That's why people use consultants. If you're in the middle of the storm, there's no way to see what it actually looks like or how bad the damage will be. I'm asking you guys to consider this, because I wouldn't have spent so much time and honestly so much money putting together a cryptocurrency and launching it, an NFT and launching it, a website and launching it, and now a mobile app that we're about to launch in an entire ecosystem that's protected and safe. If I didn't think this was a substantial problem, I could have done so many other things with my time. I could have just doubled down on my one-to-one business coaching and consulting business. It's already made me good money. It's not worth it, right? Unless it actually is. And I'm telling you guys, I don't care about a lot of things, honestly, but to me, this matters. And I hope it does to you too. Join the website, just see what it's about and see why we're doing what we're doing. And I hope that you guys trust my opinion, my prestigious background. I went to the Air Force Academy. I've been educated on this stuff, and I want to help you guys. If you have any questions, the live chat should be open pretty soon here. You guys can just ask me there, or go on the website and hop in the Telegram where we're live streaming this stuff too, and I'll answer your questions there. Other than that, I wish you the best, guys. Happy holidays coming up. We'll try to get one more stream in. I'm still going to be on the road until after Christmas, so I'll try to set up just like in this situation or somewhere else for next week. And as always, I'm rooting for you. Whatever you choose to protect your data or whatever you choose to operate your business in, understand that there's pros and cons. It might be more efficient to use Google, sure, but at what cost are you actually paying? Because you're paying a lot higher fee than just the Google Workspace subscription. Google has your information, and if you truly feel you can trust Google, I don't think I can, but if you can, go do it. But I'd love to offer you guys the alternative. I'd love for you guys to check out the site, and I hope to see you there. Have a good one. Take care, and we'll see you soon.